aligning fiscal systems with these goals, expanding the scope of fiscal sustainability beyond the traditional revenue and expenditure analysis. We need to deepen the concept of fiscal sustainability that has traditionally been discussed, as I said, with a revenue and expenditure approach. It is defined sustainability is defined as the ability of a government to sustain its current spending, tax, and other related policies in the long run without threatening its solvency. But what could threaten our income? What could change our priorities from one day to another? Our taxes are collected from sales, or income, or productive sector. But what if our productive sector and what if our private sector is not adapting to climate change? Then where is our fiscal sustainability? And this is a question that has given a lot of reflection to our government. A clear example is the energy crisis that we just faced in our country. More than 70% of our energy comes from hydroelectrics. This means that with less water, we have less energy. And we faced power outages from 6 to 14 hours due to climate change. And this impacted negatively into our commerce, our productive systems, and this, of course, hurt our fiscal system. Even if we did this former year, we did a change in our fiscal policies. We switched our taxes rates. We increased them, and even if we increase them, we face this other problem. The climate impact on public finances and the productive systems cannot continue to go unnoticed, and we need to develop tools to guarantee efficient use of public resources, and it's vital to ensure coherent financing policies. INFFs constitute a crucial approach for this purpose, enable countries to align public and private financing with the development priorities. Ecuador's INFF is in its early stages of implementation, but we have established significant methodologies and instruments to facilitate the coordination with the private sector, financiers, and investors to allocate resources towards the SDGs. As Ecuador National Secretary for Planning, I believe that these frameworks are crucial to bridge the gap between the aspirations and actionable financing strategies that truly advance sustainable development. I will give you some examples of this. Ecuador has developed the financing the SDGs and addressing chronic child malnutrition program, collaborating with UNDP and government institutions using the INFF approach. And this has helped us to develop more tools and more methodologies that can be applied to other national programs. For the block of the financing strategy, we have developed, for example, the medium-term debt management strategy. And this was published along 3 years ago, and it gives us outlines for responsible debt management, goals, objectives, instruments, and actions. We also have the Ecuador annual borrowing plan every year and it's published every year for its national state budget, and it's updated regularly. We also have Ecuador's Debt and Financing Committee, and this was established a year and a half ago, and this gives us guidelines for the negotiation processes of the non-refundable international cooperation obtained through external public debt swaps for public interest projects. Also, in the same year, we developed a framework for issuing sovereign green bonds. The Ministry of Economy can issue green bonds to finance eligible green projects or finance public debt under improved conditions. Ecuador also is developing a comprehensive taxonomy that will apply to both the public and the private sector, alongside mechanisms for labeling green public investment projects executed by the central government. Ecuador has developed several instances of intra- and interinstitutional coordination that allow to implement its INFF. Also, I would like to share that Ecuador has made important efforts to find sustainable financing alternatives, such as the issuance of a sovereign social housing bond, the first one in the region, and for $400 million, which allowed thousands of citizens to access to their first home. Also, we have two different debt for nature swaps, and I'll finish with these two examples. The first one took place a year ago, and we achieved the reduction of our debt stock for $900 million, and part of the service of the new debt is allocated on projects to protect the Galapagos Island. And the second one we just carried out in 2024, and this allowed us to have a debt stock reduction for around $500 million. On this occasion, part of the new service will be allocated on the conservation of projects of the Ecuadorian Amazon. So these are just a few examples of how INFF has impacted in our financing, and we've already been able to reduce the debt stock that we have.